Winning the Nationals should have been the turning point of my life. But credits vanish as quickly as they come, and fame from a single tournament? It fades even faster. To the rest of the galaxy, I was just another lucky upstart. To the people with real power, I was still nobody. So I did the only thing I knew how. I built a workshop, a design, a dream. If the world refused to hand me a place, I'd carve one out with my own two hands. That path led me to the Fusion Cup, a stage of bright lights and roaring crowds. But I wasn't there for glory. I was there for something far rarer, my first real customer.
As the Fusion Cup came to an end, Vez and Charlotte stood at the side of the arena. Despite their distinguished status as the runners-up, hardly anyone paid any attention to them. The climax of the evening was about to start, and the two most talented mech pilots ascended to the stage. It was clear their imminent battle was the main attraction in the Bright Republic, and the Fusion Cup was nothing more than a side event. No matter how impressive their winnings, Vez and Charlotte could expect to receive only a fraction of the attention placed on the finalists of the main tournament. But Vez wasn't a mech pilot, and he was indifferent to chasing personal fame. He preferred building up his business's reputation in a more sustainable way. I've got some work to do. Oh? Charlotte raised her eyebrow. Bailing out on me, are you? I was planning to take you to this place that makes the best spare ribs in town. I'm short on time. I've started an independent mech design studio, but I'm practically in because of it. I was kind of hoping to canvas the audience and find a market for my product. Oh, I see. All you nerdy types are the same. All you want to do is pursue a career at one of the big companies. But it's pretty brave of you to start out on your own. Vez smiled ruefully. We all have different dreams. I know it's a tough road, but I don't regret taking it. I'm confident I can make it to the top someday. Wow, that's impressive. Anyway, I won't distract you anymore, but let's swap comm details before you go. After they had added each other to their contact lists, they went their separate ways. Charlotte headed over to her fellow pilots, who congratulated her on her excellent performance. Vez, on the other hand, made his way past the families and the other spectators and headed upstairs to the private viewing area. This was reserved for the first-class ticket holders, who wanted to enjoy the exhibition without being disrupted by the sound of screaming children. The security guards let him in without any fuss, one of the perks of being a participant. Vez walked past a soundproof glass window, which blocked out most of the noise from the crowd down below. The dim lighting, luxurious upholstery, and multiple private viewing rooms gave the space a feeling of exclusivity. Vez observed the people around him and saw that they had gained access to the private area because they were all either members of the higher classes or the military ranks. In the communal space, small groups of like-minded individuals had formed and were observing the spectacle unfolding in the central arena below. Vez took a deep breath and made sure his silver medal was clearly visible on his chest. He put on a pleasant smile before singling out a group of 5 who seemed the least likely to come down. 3 of them looked like industrial businessmen, and the other 2 were clearly mid-ranking Mech Corp officers. Their eyes were fixed on the tense and slow-paced battle playing out below. But as Vez approached, they turned their attention toward him. A look of recognition appeared on one of the officers' faces. You're the guy who came second in that other side contest, aren't you? Are you related to the Larkinsons? Vez nodded respectfully. My father was on border patrol for many years, until he went missing recently. That's a real shame. The people who guard our borders against the aliens are real heroes. There's no better way to do your duty for our nation. All 5 of them looked at Vez with concern. Vez mirrored their expression for a moment, before shrugging and returning to his pleasant smile. I'm still hopeful he's alive. He didn't want to dwell too long on the subject of his father. I was hoping I might interest you in a new mech variant I've recently developed for my startup. One of the businessmen laughed politely. As a matter of fact, I'm here to do the same thing. I'm a representative of Jackson and Partners. We were just discussing the Mech Corps' potential renewal for their oldest 400-unit fleet of Scout flyers. The situation immediately became awkward. They exchanged conversation for a little while longer before Vez was politely sent away like a toddler who had interrupted the grown-ups. He hadn't expected a win on the first try, so the rejection didn't dampen his mood too much. But as he went from group to group, he started to realize his youth and his lack of a track record hampered him more than he had anticipated. His disappointment grew as he was met with similar responses. We only source our mechs from established suppliers. We sign fixed contracts with our long-term partners so they can offer the best support for our mech needs. I have to admit, for a last-generation mech, your Marc Antony variant belongs to the middle to upper tier. But my core only runs current-generation models. We like getting our hands on the newest toys available on the market, you see. Your Marc Antony is only good for a decade or two at most, before it becomes obsolete. I only collect the classics, and only in their most original form. I have nothing against variants, but the base models are the best. Vez continued to be met with suspicion as he made his way around the room. Occasionally, he got a chance to introduce his product before he was rejected. But most didn't bother hearing him out past his first sentence. Some of the individuals were genuinely unable or unauthorized to purchase a new mech, but the majority simply had a lack of confidence in his ability to deliver. He did get close a couple of times. A few retired pilots and veteran mercenaries expressed some interest in ordering his mech, but a few things held them back. Our mercenary corps mostly go out on extended patrols. Yes, the short-term battle performance of your variant is impressive, but it's no use to us if it fails to keep up on our week-long patrol routes. We're actually looking to plug a gap in our mech lineup, and I'd be tempted if you offered us the original Caesar Augustus. Your variant is affordable, but even two of them wouldn't match up against one well-armored mech. Your mech's offensive lineup is a little scattered. It inherits most of the disadvantages of the Caesar Augustus, but comes without the base model's excellent armor. I'd rather buy a specialized mech that does one single job perfectly than a machine that purports to cover every area only to fail at most of them. He realized that Carlos was off in his prediction that wealthy collectors were more likely to purchase his mechs. Rather, these collectors were highly discerning in their choices and disdained cheap variants. Instead, they were more likely to chase after vintage base models or highly exclusive variants made with extraordinary materials. Out of everyone present, it was the wealthy mercenaries who seemed to express the most interest. They were open to purchasing a functional mech, but they were critical of the Marc Antony's weak points. For them, the detriments outweighed the benefits, even with the favorable pricing. Compared to the cost of 65 million credits for an official Augustus, 24 million for the Marc Antony was a steal. But not everyone was willing to accept that it was a bargain. A flamboyant mercenary who behaved more like a rookie pirate laughed in Vez's face when he quoted the price. 24 million? Really? 24 million. How about give me a deal? Let's say 12 million? Despite knowing his world was crashing down around him, Vez remained unfazed by this response. He had quickly become immune to the rejections, and his smile didn't waver for a second as he listened.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.